No, Rothschild from Britain. Bernard Baruch, an agent of Lord Milner Rothschild, caused the Depression in the United States. In the presence of Winston Churchill, to introduce him into the powerful inner circle and to teach him a lesson on how the world is controlled by this elite group. When the stock markets were at the top in New York, Baruch liquidated his stock holdings and bought bonds and golds while retaining huge cash reserve. Of course, even if you retain the huge cash reserve, it has no value if you remove the gold, because the cash is only worth the gold that it represents. The huge withdrawal of capital investment in the stock market caused an avalanche of stock market to completely collapse. After the crash of the United States stocks in 1929, the big hitters came back at the stock market and bought almost all the industries for nothing. Millions of lives were wrecked, and America suddenly needed a new deal. The great crash created another precedent for free America, gradual socialism, as the Fabians had been doing in England. So why socialism was ordered for the Americans? Because with socialism, you're supposed to share everything you have to the state, so that you share all your money to the state. But who controls the money of the state? The central bank. Who owns the central bank? This private family. So even if you change president, even if you change philosophy, as long as it is within socialism, communism, then they are in charge. So what is the Soviet Union? It is patterned after socialism. That's why the Freemasons, they are in charge. So Rockefeller is in charge of Russia. How is that? Oh, you don't know what happened in 1961 when Nikita Khrushchev was challenging John F. Kennedy for a fight. And Nikita Khrushchev said, "I'm gonna destroy America." Of course, who was behind this? Rockefeller, of course. But the way he did it, when he gave a speech at the United States, at the United Nations headquarters in New York, he even got his shoes and he started tapping on the podium and he said, "I'm gonna get also all the rich people. I'm gonna kill all of you." But he forgot that the one financing his war are the rich people. And Rockefeller was seated at the back listening to his speech. After he gave that speech, what happened? Rockefeller went to Russia. He told the Politburo of Russia, "Remove Nikita Khrushchev." After 1 week, we never saw Nikita Khrushchev again. So who rules Russia? Rockefeller. This is history. Now, Carroll Quigley is not just inventing. He has research. And all his research are credible. And of course, from the Catholic Church, we know these documents are in front of them so that they know how to fight the Freemasons. Now, there was one president in the United States who resisted the central bank owned by this cabal, by the private hands. And of course, we know him. He's Abraham Lincoln. He saw the power play of the Rothschild to fit the North against the South, with both sides financed by the same money elite. Lincoln also saw chaos or divide and conquer tactics as opportunities for the Rothschild group to create America's central bank under the private hands. So Abraham Lincoln violently resisted this foreign takeover of America's central bank and battled for the state's right to treasury and to Congress. So Abraham Lincoln wanted to control the central bank. He wants the American people to control the central bank. He wants the American people to be represented in the Congress, not as what is happening. The Congress is dictated by the Rothschild and the Freemasons, and the central bank is also dictated by the Freemasons and the Rothschild and the Rockefeller. He saw the danger that to surrender the power of coining money to the private banks was ultimately to surrender the sovereignty of the United Nations or the United States to the elite round table. Presidents Adams and Jeffersons had already warned the danger of giving the power to print currency by the foreign elite bankers. So Lincoln, out of his love for the people, he violated the rules. He stopped the British from printing the American money. He printed his greenbacks, defying the hidden bankers. Well, we know what happened to Abraham Lincoln. After he did it, 1 week after, he was assassinated. So, America, which collapsed this year 2008, the same happened. Who pulled the rug? Lehman. But who is Lehman? He's a high-ranking Freemason connected to the Rothschild and Rockefeller. You have, of course, their puppets like Soros. You also have Mr. Buffett, as we all know. And what did they do with their gold? They pulled it out from the central bank and they invested it in China and in India. So where is all the money now? India and China. Why? Because they want to make these people powerful to create another war. Because India and China, they have natural resources. So World War III is coming. And why are they creating this? Well, Satan wants war and chaos. So expect World War III to come after the fall of the currency in the United States. Now, who is behind this? St. Paul says, you're not fighting flesh and blood. You're fighting principalities of darkness. Who are we fighting? Satan. So the solution, so that there will be no more economic collapse, fight Satan. We need exorcism. We need deliverance ministry. Ratzinger, way back 1983, he already excommunicated all the Freemasons. Canon 2335. If we have not retracted yet Freemasons, even if we are Catholics, we are excommunicated. We cannot receive communion. Unfortunately, even in the Catholic Church, many bishops, they welcome the Freemasons because they build their churches. They give them money for their annual budget. This is selling the soul to the devil for money, for power. Let's pray for everyone. The Blessed Mother said, very few pray and do penance. That's why many souls are going to hell. And the devil knows whom to tap. He gets the president, he gets the bishop, so that, as the devil said in exorcism, he can rake in millions of souls. But what did the Blessed Mother say? Pray and do penance. Let's go on fasting, on bread and water. Let's pray the rosary. Then Mary will crush the head of the serpent, who is the head of the Freemason. Then there will be worldwide peace. At Fatima, he said, consecrate your country to the Sacred Heart, to the Immaculate Heart. And Satan will fall like lightning from the sky. With the Blessed Mother, Freemasonry will be destroyed. And then, all of us who are now enslaved by these Freemasons will be totally free, and we can serve God once more.